Hey everybody, welcome back to My Physical World. Today's topic is storm chasing, tornado chasing, whatever you want to call it. If you guys are new to this channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you feel inclined to support what I do on this channel, buymeacoffee.com. That would be greatly appreciated. I don't make a lot of money on this channel, okay? We're probably lucky to make $300 a year, okay? But I like giving information out. I like education. It's just something I do. But that's what this channel is. My Physical World is education. I concentrate on three things: physical science, which I am a physical scientist or retired physical scientist. I also create scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I put some tutorials about that up on this channel, and I also do oil painting, so there's videos about that. So something for everybody, I hope. Here I am in my studio, and over the past few weeks we've had a lot of tornado outbreaks throughout the United States. And just so you know, as my qualifications, I've taught some basic meteorology at the university level. My profession was Geographic Information Systems, and I focused on natural hazards, okay, emergency management type of applications, law enforcement, that kind of stuff. But I'm a physical scientist. I know about how these things are, tornadoes are created, but I also do research. I did research in earthquake risk, hurricane risk, that kind of stuff. So this environment is what I am trained in. Also, I have trained hundreds of storm spotters and chasers on the way that you're supposed to do it and the meaning of it. The very first video I ever did on this channel, My Physical World, years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I can't remember. Anyway, it was a tornado hit about 30-minute drive south of here. That particular tornado, the warning sirens, the outdoor warning sirens, remember, now hear what I say, outdoor warning sirens. The outdoor warning sirens didn't go off until a couple minutes before the first building in the town was hit, okay? But anyway, that video dealt with that communication lag between National Weather Service and the local law enforcement, or whoever's responsible of flipping that switch to turn on those outdoor warning sirens, okay? And it was about heed the National Weather Service warnings and not relying on the outdoor warning sirens going off, because there are two different agencies taking care of that. All right. Now, anyway, please go back and watch that video. It's the very first video I ever put on this channel. All right. I think you're going to find it useful and very helpful, especially if you're not a storm chaser and you just want to be keeping your family safe. All right. So let's continue. Today's topic is storm chasing. What is storm chasing? There are two types of storm chasing. Okay, and I'm going to say chasing and spotters. When I say spotters, that is somebody who is out there for the benefit of the public, not themselves. That's a storm spotter. Okay, now, if I say spotter, you're going to know that I'm saying somebody that's out there responsibly and professionally, and they're doing it for you, not themselves, okay? Now, when I say chaser, there's two types of chasers, okay? There are, number one, your thrill seekers, Okay, your people that have the YouTube channels and they're trying to get views, likes, and money. Okay, they are adrenaline junkies. Let me tell you about adrenaline. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing nothing wrong with about being excited to go out to see tornadoes and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. I do it myself. Every time a siren, outdoor warning siren, if I hear it, okay, I'm out the door looking around, looking at my environment, trying to get a peek of a tornado if I can or something like that. However, at the same time, I always have my Radar Omega app on my phone or on my computer, and I'm constantly looking at it to get the lay of the land, get the feel of what's going on. Okay, is my family in danger? Are my neighbors in danger? Okay, I'm doing it. I'm using that adrenaline to get me outside to have, to have the bravery to go outside or the stupidity. But my brain is thinking, are the people around me going to be safe? Okay, my neighbor, they don't have a basement. And if we have a tornado coming toward them, I'm going to tell them to get over to my house so they can get my basement. Okay, now whether they do that, that's up to them. But chasers, the thrill seekers, they take unnecessary risks. I have seen storm chasing groups. Sorry, my apologies. I've seen storm chasing groups on Facebook and stuff, and they put these. They got some really exciting videos and stuff like that, and a lot of times they say these people are out sacrificing their lives for your safety. People, storm chasers, I've trained you guys. I've trained enough of you guys. You do not have to sacrifice anything to be a high quality storm spotter / chaser. Okay? You don't the only thing that you're probably sacrificing is the time away from your family. Okay? You might be sacrificing some other incidental things, but you're not sacrificing your life, okay, to save people. You're not out there to be a hero. You're out there to get scientific information out to people and information to save lives. Okay, you do no good by putting yourself in harm's way. Okay, you don't need to be right up against the funnel cloud in order to say there's a tornado there. Okay, that's stupidity. You're only there for YouTube views and clicks and likes and all that kind of stuff. All right. Now, category 2 of chaser are those people that are out there trying to get scientific data. And yes, those people could be sacrificing their lives in the name of collecting information to save lives in the future. Now, do they have to do it? No, they don't. But a lot of them will try to get their instrumentation into a particular location that it gets hit by the tornado to get data. Okay? You guys have seen probably one of the worst movies ever made about tornadoes, and that was Twister. Okay? Yeah, it was exciting. It's Hollywood and stuff like that. But, tornadoes don't turn around and come chase you. Okay? They just, things like that, it's ridiculous. If you're going to be a chaser and you want to be a thrill seeker and that's all you want to do is get likes and get paid, put that on be brave enough to put that on your video. I'm being an idiot and I'm going to see how close to this thing as I can get and see if, millions and millions of people can watch me get blown around in my vehicle. If that's what you do, I dare you, put a disclaimer on your channel saying that you're doing that. Okay? But if you're out there trying to save lives, your attitude is going to be humble enough anyway. A real hero is humble. Okay? Am I going off on a tirade on this video? Yeah, I am, because I'm seeing some really stupid stuff and I'm seeing some awesome stuff at the same time, okay? From those people that are doing it in the name of science, okay? But your job as a chaser, spotter, is to save lives, and that includes your own, okay? Now, lecture's done. Let's talk about some things. All right. So over the past few weeks, the United States has had many outbreaks of tornadoes. In some evenings, we've had 30 or 40 tornadoes, maybe 50 tornadoes in one night. Okay. Now, these are not necessarily confirmed visually tornadoes. They might be radar indicated, and we're going to talk about that here pretty soon. But nevertheless, there's some type of report of of 50 tornadoes in one night, okay? And this is the norm, people. This has been going on forever. This is not new, okay? This is not new. Matter of fact, I have a chart, and if I could find it someday, maybe I'll post it, is the number of tornadoes in the United States. I was a cartographer, so I did some mapping of all the tornadoes and their tracks over the past, since 1950 or whatever it was. Okay. The number of tornadoes has dramatically increased since 1995. Matter of fact, my chart that I made, all here it started in 1950. They were just kind of like this, and then in 1995, boom, they shot up, way up, and now they're way up in the hundreds and hundreds of tornadoes. Okay. Global warming, climate change? Absolutely not. The reason for the increase of tornadoes since 1950, or should I say 1995, is the invention of NEXRAD radar. That's it. That's why we have more tornadoes now than we did back in 1950. Back in 1950, you had to see it to report it. Nowadays, you don't have to see it to report it because it gets reported automatically, and I'm going to show you how, okay? But there's a lot of tornadoes out there. That's the point, okay? There's a lot of tornadoes. Now, are they more intense than they used to be? It's pretty much the same. Okay, there's that distribution bell. All right, of EF zeros through EF fives and how many are reported and stuff like that. EF fives are still such a very small sliver of that bell. Okay, and EF4s are just a little bit bigger. The smaller the tornado, the more prevalent they are. All right, now, are they getting faster and faster? Time will tell. Okay, and I have a video that I'm going to show you that talks about that as well in this video. Okay, because we're going to be looking at some other YouTubers or YouTube videos on tornadoes. All right. Now, first of all, I'm going to switch to something to kind of show you the difference between a spotter and a thrill seeker. All right. So I'm going to get me off of here, and we are going to go to Radar Omega. This is live, by the way. Okay. This is not something that I recorded. All right. This is live information as we speak. All right. So we are west of Chicago, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and there are a line of thunderstorms going on right now. In Radar Omega, I also have turned on the spotters or chasers. They're calling themselves chasers, but I call these guys spotters. All right. And if I zoom in, you see some icons. We'll click on an icon there. That's a weather station. Whoops. There we go. This is Brooklyn, Wisconsin. All right. It's just a webcam. All right. But there's another one down here. This is Vince. I'm not going to butcher his last name. Okay, so he's out spotting. He's on the network, and Vince is extremely professional. Okay, he is out there for your safety. All right, and he has his dash cam. He has it pointed backwards right now, but he is looking at the storm, and he is trying to watch for any tornado activity. All right, he's obeying traffic laws as much as he can. He's being courteous to other drivers. He's professional. Okay, this is what he does. He's on the road, spending his gas. Yeah, he probably has a YouTube channel. He probably has a following, and he probably has a Patreon page. He's probably getting some money for this, But is that his motivation? No. I've watched Vince for a long time using Radar Omega when there's chasing going on, and this guy knows what he's doing. Okay, he's doing it the right way. Does he put himself in harm? Well, sometimes not on purpose. Okay, because tornadoes they're kind of fickle in some. They have a precision of how they're formed and all this. All the conditions have to be perfect, but they're also fickle. Okay, sometimes they'll weave, they'll bob when they're not expected to. Okay, and sometimes chasers, spotters will get caught in that activity, and you're going to see some of this stuff coming up. But Vince is awesome. All right, and normally the spotters that you see in Radar Omega, they are out there reporting to some other entity. Okay, now he's on the network. You see, he's pulling over here to the side or turning on the road. Okay, he's trying to get a better sight at this storm in the background to see what's going on. But he's reporting back to people like Ryan Hall, okay, who has probably the most watched and best severe storm YouTube live broadcasts that I've ever seen. And these guys are reporting to him or other people that are reporting this information. So that's what Vince is doing. He's probably one of the best spotters out there, okay? Now, so if you have Radar Omega, which is free, by the way, there are paid tiers to it to get different information, such as models and meteorological models and things like that. But you can download Radar Omega for free and be able to look at the radar images and the velocity and stuff like that, and click on these spotters and watch what's going on. So in this particular area, you notice that there's a red box around this area, meaning that there is a tornado warning in this area. And he's out chasing. Matter of fact, I had him up earlier, and he was going, why is this a tornado warning? Why? I don't see it. I don't see what's going on. Well, this is what he's going off of. What I'm going to do is I'm coming down here and changing the reflectivity, which is rainfall. Okay, I'm going to switch this to velocity, and we're going to see this area green. All right, I have the radar over here near Franklin or Milwaukee. I have the Milwaukee. No, I don't. Do I? Well, I have this one on right here. There's another one over here. Okay, but I have this radar selected, and looking at velocity. Green means that the signal is coming toward the radar. All right. Red means it's going away from the radar. Okay, so it makes sense that this line right here, you can kind of see this line right here. The reflection of the raindrops or the precipitation is going away from the radar. Here, it's coming toward the radar. Now, we come into this tornado zone, and in order for a tornado to form, there has to be a lot of mixing of the air. I'm being very general, by the way. I'm I'll leave it to the real meteorologists and real tornado people to describe it to you. But you have to have this mixing of air, cold and hot air, and updrafts and downdrafts and all types of stuff. If this was a tornado in this area, you would have if you ever hear the term red and green, it's mean, okay? Red and green together, red and green touching each other, means that we have air going one way and air going another way, and it's going to start spinning or it's going to mix up, okay? It's the velocity that we're talking about. When there are green pixels and red pixels right side by side, which is known as a couplet, that means that automatically the Weather Service kicks off a tornado warning. Okay, so there could have been a little bit of turbulence in this area that caused some air to move away from the radar and some toward the radar right next to each other. We got red and green together. Boom, it kicks off a tornado warning, whether there's a tornado there or not, okay? So that is called a radar indicated, okay? Now, does that mean that all radar indicated look like this? No. It means that some radar indicated are actual tornadoes. But you're going to see other signs, okay, such as hook echoes and things like that. But Vince is out there chasing this because this has the potential to create a tornado, at least in the models. But right now, it is not, okay? There's nothing in the velocity right now that means that there's a tornado, okay? But could there be? Could there be some gustnados in the front edge of the storm? Yeah, there could be. But anyway, if you want up-to-date information on tornadoes, get Radar Omega. All right. Now there is a lot of rain, and we got some hail here. Okay, so there's some severe stuff going on, but not necessarily a tornado. And if we go to Vince, he's pretty much going to tell you that I don't see anything yet. Okay, but I'll stay here and I'll monitor and we'll see if things change, because things can change. All right. Now, yes, this is kind of a long long video, but it's really important for you guys to understand this stuff. So if you want up-to-date information, up-to-date warnings, get a weather app and turn on alerts, because that's when you're going to get the information directly from the Weather Service. All right. I had a kind of like a small debate on with one of my friends about a tornado not having a warning, and playing the blame game. Well, you can't do that. All right. There are some older organizations that don't have the pipeline, the funds, or whatever, low population counties where their emergency management just doesn't have the funds, but they rely on a phone call from the National Weather Service. Those are outdated, out of date organizations that need to upgrade, okay? Because any real organization, or any organization that really concentrates on the warnings, will actually use an app like this, okay, where the Weather Service puts it out and you get it right off the way. Remember, outdoor warning sirens are not turned on by the National Weather Service. They are turned on by your local law enforcement or emergency management department to flip that switch, okay? National Weather Service does not do that, okay? if that is if you want the warning sirens to go off when the National Weather Service puts out the bulletin, you need an app that tells you, because I can tell you right now, Radar Omega will put that red tornado box right as soon as the National Weather Service puts out the warning. And then if you're sitting here in your emergency management office and you see that, you hit the switch. No phone call needed. That's the way most counties' emergency management departments are doing it. They're not waiting for some kind of phone call. That stuff went, that stuff's, 1980s, 1990s, okay? This is 2024. You get it right from the source. And it doesn't have to be Radar Omega. You can use AccuWeather app, Weather Channel app. It doesn't matter. As soon as the NWS puts out a warning, it shows up. And if you're sitting there watching the screen, that's what I did in emergency management. Okay? I sat there and watched the radar. I sat there and watched and waited for the bulletins to come up. And as soon as it showed up, boom, we had the warnings out. Okay? Now, I wasn't the guy that turned on the switch, but part of my profession was supporting emergency management analysis. Okay? Now, let's switch gears a little bit. All right? Let's go up. I'm going to minimize my Radar Omega, and we're going to look at some YouTube videos, okay, of different spotting, okay? So the first video that I'm going to show you is Reed Timmer, okay? He has 1 million subscribers, okay? So he's getting money. He is. Now, is that wrong? Is getting money wrong? No, that's not what I'm saying. What is the purpose of you chasing? Now, these guys are both scientific and thrill seekers, all right? Do they take unnecessary risks? In my opinion, yes. As a spotter, they are. But as the scientific environment, no, they're not taking unnecessary risks because they're trying to get information out to the scientific community. Will it be visual or instrumental? Instrumental meaning equipment that is being measured, that's being used to measure this stuff. Well, yeah. I don't really know Reed very well. I don't really pay attention to him too much. I was just intrigued by his chase for this particular tornado because scientifically, for visual scientific information, it was useful. Are there unnecessary risks? Are there some unprofessional attitudes? Yeah, in my opinion, yes. Okay. Was this crew that was in the car a little bit, thrill-seeking? Yeah, well, if you listen to them, the shouting, the screaming, the cussing, all that kind of stuff, oh, come on. How many tornadoes have you seen, right? Okay. But remember, I understand about adrenaline, okay? But let's take a look at some of Reed's chase here and see some scientific stuff that is useful. So they are really close to this tornado. I'm guessing, depending on the zoom of their camera, somewhere between 1/4 to 1/2 mile away from this monster. Now look at the wind generator. It gets engulfed. Okay, it hit a wind turbine, and here coming around the edge, those are the blades coming off of it. And now if you look at it, it's starting to disintegrate, and then it collapses. Okay, that's dramatic. That's dramatic stuff. Now, it's the screaming and yelling that really annoys me. It really does. Come on. Be professional. You don't, But anyway, this is for, I like this. This is good stuff. This is good scientific information. You got multiple vortexes in this bad boy, okay? I would ask that you get your microphone out of the wind so it's not so annoying. But anyway, they are looking at some real scientific data, okay? Visual scientific data. Multiple vortexes wrapping around each other. You can see, you can definitely see in this, there's showing some damage from the one turbine, but you can see, I'm going to pause and I'm going to back up a little bit. But in this view, this scientific view, in my opinion, you can see during this chase, okay, whether it's thrill-seeking or not, there's scientific data in here to be found. If you see the multiple vortexes, you can understand why one house gets hit by a tornado and next door, the house next door does not get hit. Because the way these vortexes are dancing around each other. They might get hit by this one, but not this one. Okay, you see what I'm saying? There's scientific information that could be gleaned from this thrill-seeking video. Okay, so if you're out there chasing, come on, you don't need to scream and holler and you know, come on. How many tornadoes have you seen? All right, if you. I'm sorry, Reed. I'm not dogging you guys. I mean, this is good scientific data. But did they have to get this close? No. No, not to be a storm spotter. All right? Not to tell people that you have this massive quarter-mile, maybe half-a-mile wide tornado, you know, coming through the area. You don't have to get into the wind field of this funnel. All right? Let's move on to another one. Here it is. This one here. Okay, I love this one. This guy did such an amazing job. Freddie McKinney. Okay, he was chasing one in April 26th, and in Nebraska, and this was just a phenomenal chase. Okay. He's out there warning people, okay? He's not a thrill seeker. He has a YouTube channel, obviously, because that's what I'm showing the video on. He's out there doing some chasing, and he's kind of like Vince. He's believe we're live. Yep, believe you're live. Okay, you're not live today. This is your YouTube channel. You guys know this guy if you guys watch Chasers, all right? You've seen him, okay? He's narrating as he's going through, and he's not overzealous, okay? He's not screaming and hollering and stuff. He's out there professionally looking. He's courteous to other drivers. He's aware of people's houses getting destroyed and all this kind of stuff, and if there was damage in certain areas, he would stop to see if people are okay. Did he do that enough? In my opinion, he drove by some house and said there's not a lot of damage and just continues driving. You might just stop and see if everybody is okay. I mean, that's just standard spotter stuff. You can still keep an eye on the storm while you're checking on the safety of some other people. But Freddie did an awesome job on this chase. Okay, he was out there. I think this was like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, almost 6 hour chase. Okay, and he gets some really good video. Awesome show of. Sorry, I'm going to say awesome destruction, but I don't mean that in a negative way. He's showcasing the awesome power. That's going to go just behind us. And listen to him. Listen to him. He's calm. He's professional. He's collecting data. Yeah, he's getting the thrill of the chase. He's getting views. He's getting likes.
It's going to cross right in front of us, guys. Big violent tornado here.
See, that's the adrenaline.
Oh my gosh.
That's the adrenaline that I have. Okay?
This is really not good. Shut these wipers off. We don't need the wipers going.
But this is an example of a good chase. Oh, man. Freddie, you did an awesome job. Okay? This whole 5 hours, this whole 6 hours, you did such an excellent job.
We're very close range, guys. We got to be very careful.
Yes, see? He's being aware. He's being aware of his situation. He's not being an idiot. Matter of fact, sometimes he breaks in and says,
Still good. I think we're fine, but we're almost in the debris cloud here.
See?
This is absolutely unreal.
Kudos to Freddie on this chase. And there's, like I said, there's hours of him chasing this storm. Hours. And here he goes. He's going through some damage areas. He's looking at the tornado from the distance. He's trying to get a good eye on the chase. Doing the storms, doing the spotter. Now, what I would recommend as a spotter is that you constantly have your phone and you're in communication with your local law enforcement or local emergency management department, and you're reporting what you're seeing. Okay? Now, Freddie's not doing that. He's doing it by his channel and not as... Here it is.
Big time damage. It's just... Oh my gosh.
He's going to mention here pretty soon.
The good thing is that house did not look to be that damaged.
Now, if it was, Freddie would have stopped to see if everything's okay, if nobody else was doing it. Okay, if other people weren't going over there to see if people was okay, Freddie would have gotten out of his car and see if there was any help that was necessary. Okay, and then get the idiots that get in the way of your traffic. All right, but Freddie, you did an awesome job on this chase, buddy. I'm proud of you. A spotter, professional spotter, proud of you. All right, so let's move on to the next. Let me pause this. All right, now we are going to show, I'm going to show you.
Oh my gosh, look at it.
Here's just a homeowner videotaping. He could be a spotter. He could be, he's,
Neighbors' houses. Oh my gosh.
look at the power. There's scientific usefulness to this video.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. But he's standing at the house watching, and he's reporting what's going on. Now, he's not actually reporting. He's videotaping. But this is Andover, Kansas. But he's observing. And then you can see it actually rope out. Okay. So it's repeating. The video is repeating. You're seeing the destruction. Just look at this. Some of this is not even in the actual condensation funnel. Okay. And that tells you that those winds, you may see the funnel, you might see the condensation funnel, but it doesn't mean that's where the tornadic winds are. Okay, you don't have to be inside the condensation funnel in order to get blown away. Okay, just because you see the condensation. See this house right here, it's going to get ripped up, and it's not even in the main portion. It's going to be right over here. See, right there, right there. It's not even in the condensation funnel.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? Tornado speeds are outside of that condensation cloud. Okay? And now, I'm going to take you to one last place.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It is impressive. Okay, I'm going to take you one more video, And I recommend that you take an hour of your day to watch this, because this video, this documentary,
tornado warning is something that, of course, is much more serious.
this video, no, that's not the one I wanted to show you. This is the one that I wanted to show you. This is the documentary that I need every chaser to watch. And it's about the most violent tornado ever recorded in El Reno, Oklahoma in 2013. The tornado got to 2.6 miles wide. And this video, as the title of this video says, a storm chasing disaster, a retrospective and analysis. This video deals with what happens with chasers not understanding the complexity of a tornado. Okay, now this tornado happened to be an enigma. Okay, in this short span from here to about here, it went from EF2 to an EF5, I believe it was. Yeah, EF5. And see this little white dot? That's a chaser. That's a storm chaser. And this thing grew in a matter of minutes. All right, so I'm going to play this video so you can see what happens. And these chasers lost their lives, unfortunately.
Anyway, a mile to the east of Route 81, they realized that they are right in the tornado's path. At 6:23 p.m., the TwistX team was hit by the tornado, thrown and rolled several times as they were overtaken by the tornado's cyclone, and then an intense subvortex near the tornado's center. A little bit to the east, Dan Robinson narrowly escaped being hit by the inner circulation of the tornado. During the tornado's left-hand turn, K4 meteorologist Emily Sutton and storm chaser Kevin Josephine were also in the path, with their vehicle being hit by debris from the tornado.
So yeah, you see, tornadoes do unexpected things. You might think you're safe by being close to that tornado, but in a matter of minutes, things can change and you're in harm's way. All right. If you want to learn how to not storm chase, watch this video, this El Reno video. Okay. Watch this video. Watch it over and over and over. This is probably the best storm chasing training video I have ever seen, and I've used it, okay, in training. All right, because it tells you what an unexpected circumstance can cause: death, destruction, unnecessary death. Okay. Now, this video is also very scientifically useful in learning the mechanics of tornadoes. We learned so much about the El Reno tornado just by we learned so much in the chasing world and tornadoes in general from the El Reno tornado in 2013. Okay, now finally, I'm going to take you to one more video that I want you to get to and look, and that is how to read a weather radar. All right, I brought up Radar Omega, okay, but this video will tell you how to read the different signatures on a radar, okay. And that's using the velocity, using when to use reflectivity and when to use the velocity reflections. Okay, But this video does an awesome job in explaining the difference in how to sight a tornado, okay, by the different views, whether it's reflectivity or whether it's velocity, okay. Here we have red and green coming together, okay. But watch Chris Chase does an excellent job of how to read a radar signal to determine if there's a tornado, okay. So I'm going to kind of, but he does a really good job. See right here, this velocity right here, red and green together right here. That's automatically going to kick off a tornado warning. And then you could go to your basement, or if you have the switch to turn on the outdoor warning sirens, you can do that. All right. But watch Chris's video on how to read weather radar. All right. Now, I'm just going to make some final closing comments. If you're a person that I appeared to be saying that you're just a junkie, adrenaline junkie, take what I'm saying in the terms of public safety, okay? If you want to go out and thrill seek, that's totally up to you. That is totally up to you. But in your videos, put a disclaimer out there saying, I'm not doing this safely. I'm doing this for thrills, okay? Put that little statement that says, don't try this at home, okay? If you're doing science, if you're chasing for science, and you're screaming like a school kid, you know, cussing and screaming and yelling at your people to do this and do that. You know, I worked in construction, and that kind of language in construction is all over the place. It doesn't get the job done. It doesn't. It just means that you're being a bad leader, okay? If you're out storm chasing and yes, you got a lot of adrenaline that's going on. It's the thrill of the chase. Whether you're a spotter or not, it's going to be thrillful. But just calm down. People will pay attention to you. They'll heed your warnings. They'll like the data that you're giving them if you're calm, cool, and collected. Okay? Be a professional when you're out chasing. Okay? Again, if you're a thrill seeker, put a disclaimer on all your videos that I'm just doing this for fun. Don't do this. Okay? If you value your life, don't do this. Because I can guarantee you, those thrill seekers never watch that El Reno video. Because if they watch that El Reno video, they'll know that they can die in a couple seconds because they're way too close. All right? Anyway, I have to put this out there. I'm an educator of this kind of stuff. And I could not live with myself if I did not put out this kind of a video for you guys to get this information. All right. I want you guys to do, I want you to have the thrill and the adrenaline of chasing tornadoes and spotting, because it's exciting stuff. But do it safely and do it professionally. Do it calmly. All right. Anyway, I hope this video helps you. I hope, even if you're not a spotter or a chaser, I hope this video helps you understand that it's a big responsibility being a spotter and a chaser. And if you get killed, you're not helping anybody. Okay? Be safe. Be professional. All right? And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend that's coming up. Long weekend here in the United States, being Memorial Day weekend. But if you're going to spot and chase, be helpful. Help save lives. We need more spotters out there. All right? Okay? But learn from those guys that I watched, that I showed you. Okay? Don't fall into the trap of the YouTubers. Okay? Anyway, you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you later.